Hi guys, welcome back to I Slay Spina Bifida. Here on this channel, we slay in all obstacles that comes our way. Yes, we do. Happy New Year, everyone. I am so glad to be back, recording again, trying to drop videos as much as I can. And I'm also back at work, so I probably won't be able to drop videos until like the weekend or something like that. But I wanted to come on here and talk about some issues that I'm going through when it comes to these doctor's office. Excuse the noise in the background because I live not too far from the hospital, so you're gonna hear some noises, the sirens of the ambulance bringing in patients and things like that. So anyway, before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, join the Slay Squad team. We will be glad to have you. Also, I make handmade crochet items like hats and scarves and things like that. So if you are interested and you live in a cold, very cold environment and you want something warm to keep you warm and things like that, don't hesitate to check out some of my crochet handmade items. I will leave my information in the description box below, and yeah, so you can check out some things that I've already made. As I finish my crochet projects, I will post them on my community board as well. So if you want to buy something, you can always leave your information in my DMs, or if you see something that you like and I show it to you on my community board, don't hesitate to leave a comment. So anyway, so you guys, like I said, I've been sick, and I'm feeling a lot better. Let me move this back a little bit, you guys. Seems like it's close. Okay. So I've been sick, and I've had to go to the ER like 2 or 3 times. And it got so bad that I had to have antibiotics through the IV. So, I was fighting an infection, of course, and it's just a lot. And that was because I had a pressure wound that was not healing. It wasn't healing. And so, and from what I was told, it started on the inside. So you can't detect or you can't pinpoint where a wound that starts from the inside of your body and then all of a sudden it just surfaced. So that's what happened. And now it's getting a lot better. The wound is healing. And anybody that have experienced pressure wounds and you're still going through that, I have some tips that will help heal a little faster. And that is, if you have like low blood circulations and not enough skin cells to for your wound to heal, my suggestion is to get on a high protein diet, you know, because protein helps heal wounds. And I also been taking this stuff called Juven. The doctors love, that's their number one recommendation for a patient that has, you know, a wound that's, you know, not healing well. So you take the Juven, it's a supplement protein drink. And that's what I've been taking it. I've been drinking it. It comes in different flavors. You got the fruit punch, you got the orange, and the plain kind where you could just mix it up in your juice, you know, and you won't be able to taste it. As far as the ones that's flavorful, you can mix it up in some water and drink it like that. It also helps you lose some weight as well, because when you drink it, it makes you full, and you know you wouldn't want anything else to eat. So I'm just saying, like, you can eat something light and not be hungry after you drink the Juven, and also eat something like a salad or something. You won't be hungry after that. So that's what I've been doing. I also have a nurse that comes to dress my wound twice a week. And also my nephew, who's my caregiver, he dresses my wound on the weekends. So I have a little help, you know. But also, I wanted to talk about how I don't understand how can anybody can go into a clinic and it's not accessible. So what happened to me was I was supposed to go to what they call lymphedema screening. And what happened was I got there and I asked a question just to see, you know, what they say. So I asked the lady, I said, does this require me, do I have to get up out my chair for this exam or for this screening? And her reply was yes. And she told me I had to stand up, I had to take my sock off, and I would have to take the bandage off my wound. Well, I knew I was going to do all three. Excuse me. I knew I wasn't going to do all three of those. For one thing, I have an amputated leg. I'm still learning, trying to walk with the prostheses. And it's not easy for me, first of all, because I already had a disability. I was born with spina bifida, and that came with club feet. So my foot, I have a club foot. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to stand without, first of all, my leg brace. It was left at the clinic for a fitting for my shoe. You know, I had to get a wider shoe. So I knew that I wasn't going to be doing all of those things that she wanted me to do this lymphedema screening. And if anybody don't know what lymphedema is, it's like your lymph nodes, the swelling in your leg can be out of control because it's so much fluid in your leg. So that's what happened to me. That was part of the problem was going on with when I was, in the hospital. But my thing is, I feel like nobody is really paying attention to the ADA law, where you're supposed to accommodate people with disabilities. And I shouldn't have to call every time I go to the doctor to see and make sure that it is accessible. And I've said this more than one time. I'm not talking about the automatic doors being accessible. I'm talking about the tables. The tables has to go up and down. It has to adjust so that way I can climb on the table myself and it wouldn't be a problem. This has been going on for a while. I'm having the most hardest time finding a gynecologist, and I feel like it is a shame that I have to be hospitalized to get a pap smear. And I feel like people that, build these clinics and things like that, they only think about themselves. They don't think about people with disabilities. How are we supposed to get on the table? Not just having a rail up in the bathroom, meaning that's accessible. No, some of the bathrooms are not accessible, meaning it's not roomy. Just because you have a rail there does not mean it's accessible. My power wheelchair needs to be able to fit in there. And I need to make sure that I'm able to grab onto the rail to, transfer onto the toilet. And I feel like really people got the wrong perception when it comes to making things accessible. Like, the doctor's office needs to be thoroughly accessible. Everything needs to be accessible, not just the doors. You get an automatic door and got a handicap button right there, or you go to the bathroom, like I said, and there's a railing that person can grab onto. I'm talking about everything: the examining tables, the rooms. It has to be spacious for the wheelchair to fit in. I'm talking about everything. And it's becoming an issue. I don't like it. I really don't like that. Because I feel like society is really saying my livelihood doesn't matter. This is what I'm thinking. Like, oh, that person has a disability. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to worry about myself and not the person that needs to be examined by a doctor. It's ridiculous, and I think it's very selfish. What happened? What happened to abiding by the ADA law? A lot of these hospital clinics are not accessible. And I really think they should get up on doing something about it, because I'm getting really tired of getting out my bed, driving all the way to a destination where I'm thinking, okay, everything is accessible, when it's not. And I get there, I get a surprise. Oh, you got to stand up. Well, how am I going to stand up on a club foot on one leg with a wound on it, trying to heal? How am I supposed to do that? It's ridiculous, and something needs to change. And quite honestly, I'm trying to work behind the scenes to make that change, because It's getting ridiculous. I don't understand what is really going on, why everything is not accessible. I mean, at least you can have, the examining table to go up and down for a person who's in a wheelchair or a walker. Some people with walkers cannot climb on the examining table. And ladies, let me just tell you, my last pap smear was in a hospital, which was 2 years ago. I'm supposed to get a pap smear every year. I'm not able to do that. I got to be in the hospital in order for them to do that. See what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen like that. So I want to know, have anybody else with a disability have experienced or going through the same thing I'm going through? Leave a message in the comment. Let me know your story, because at this point, that's how I feel about society. Society feels like, okay, this person is in the wheelchair, their life don't matter. They probably won't be able to make it to the appointments. Well, we don't know that. Your mentality and your stereotype about a person with a disability is off. And you really need to think about everybody, not just yourself, when it comes to building these type of buildings. Everything, when I say everything needs to be accessible, everything, not just the automatic doors or the bathroom with a rail in it. Everything needs to be accessible. The offices, the examining rooms and tables and things like that, it is not accessible. And it's becoming a problem. So let me know what you guys think about this, and if you know anybody that's going through the same thing I'm going through, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But I feel like I need to advocate, because not just for myself, but for others who's going through the same thing I'm going through. It's ridiculous. Change it. Change it, because it's really against the ADA law that you're not having these things that's not accommodating for people with disabilities. I mean, we have health issues as well, not just an average person that don't have a disability. Some of us with disabilities was born with our health issues. So why not make things accessible for us so that we can see the doctor as well and make sure that we are healthy, or we're getting our yearly checkups at the gynae, or going to lymphedema screening. Make it accessible. I mean, what is wrong with that? Because I'm concerned about my health just as well as the next person concerned about their health. And I really want to know what's going on. So that's all I wanted to say for today. I'm kind of ranting, but I just wanted to get on here and express how I'm feeling about this issue with the doctor's office not being accessible. It's ridiculous. You guys need to change it. So that is all for right now. I love y'all. I am going to come back with some, I'm thinking about doing a Shein haul. Not Sheins, but Shein haul for plus size. And, yeah. And I will be back very soon. I know it was someone that made a comment that they want to see how I transfer in and out my chair with a disability. And I'm going to do that. it's just right now I'm kind of tied up with all these appointments and work, because I work from 9 to 5:30. So sometimes I get home, I just don't feel like doing anything, don't want to do a video. So I'm gonna try to see if I can do one maybe on the weekend, show you guys how I get in and out my bed with the disability, spina bifida edition. So with that being said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and always remember that I love you, but God loves you even more. Until next time, see you later. Mwah.